Okay, today in the papers it's all war, war, war. Yes, the Rothschild controlled papers are giving you full-on war whether you want it or not, and you better like it, otherwise we'll blow you up as well. We'll start off with the Star. Brit fighter jets target Syria over chemical attack on innocents, which has been proven not to have taken place. Striking back at evil. More lies. How come Parliament's still standing? You want to strike back at evil? I'll tell you exactly how you do it. You wait till it's the wage increase day, and then you attack Parliament and you get the frigging lot of them. Dirty scumbags. The Mail. Jamie Oliver, my favourite healthy recipes for all the family. Does it look like I give a crap what recipes you want to sell in your failing restaurant business? Now, this is some interesting news. The odd little snippet in the papers, and the first one with, obviously, Trump, mission accomplished. May faces backlash for snubbing MPs over blitz on Syria. RAF blasts chemical depot with Storm Shadow missiles. Allies braced for Russia's revenge as 3 targets hit. Well, I heard that they fired over 100 missiles at 3 targets. I think someone may be telling the porkies, don't you? Express. A strike at the heart of evil. That doesn't look like Parliament to me. RAF jets destroy Assad's chemical weapons stockpile. May and Trump hail perfect mission. You warmongering, bloodthirsty, criminal scum, banker-controlled spazzers. Yeah, spazzers. That's the best I could come up with there, because I'm pissed off at these scumbag murdering. I know everyone else is feeling the same. We've got to stop saying, stop this, stop it. We've got to do something about it now. Time for action. Times. The little girl whose agony set the worst on path to war. You mean the kidnapped little girl whose agony set the path to war? Sunday Times finds survivors of Assad's chemical attack. Really? Really? And you expect us to believe that? Since the British, American, France and any other criminal cabal involved couldn't find any, but the Times has managed to find some, has it? What's that smell? You know. Russian threat to wage dirty campaign against Britain's elite. Oh, piss off. But if they were to do that, just let it be known they'd be doing a service to humanity. The Telegraph. The lesson of history is that when the global rules that keep us safe come under threat, we must take a stand and defeat them. Theresa May. Criminal. Traitor to humanity. I didn't say that, but it should have done, because it would have been more accurate. And then let's get on with the bullshit about locked and loaded. Let's go kick some. Syrian weapons facility struck as RAF Tornado fighters join coalition forces. Bullshit. President Trump ready to launch further military action against Assad regime. Boris Johnson defends missile strikes after barbarism of chemical attacks. Staged by the US government and UK government and the Israeli government. Oh, they forgot to mention that. That's a shock, isn't it? It's all in there except the real news. Sitting on the sidelines was never an option. No. Dragging the treasonous lot out of Parliament and locking them in a psych ward is the option. They can share a cell next to the Queen and the royals. Anything but independent. Lords poised. I should have said Lords poisoned. That would have been so much better, but we'll have to go with what the title is. Lords poised. The government faces a Brexit defeat. Speaking out. Weinstein's victims tell their stories. That's still kicking the mileage up, is it? Damn right, the punk veterans are on being optimistic. And the distraction that is Aintree. Picture of the most treasonous cow ever in the UK, on a par with Margaret Thatcher, of course. The PM said the international community would not allow chemical weapons to be used with impunity like we did in Salisbury. May hail strike success, but public denies support. Poll on eve of sorties reveals challenge for PM to justify attack. Britain, US and France fire more than 100 missiles on Syria. Russia warns of consequences of UK UK threatens more action. Bring it on, says criminal Theresa May, because, you know, she wants to call World War III. That's the plan. That's been the plan all along. For the last 30 years, that's been the plan. It's just it's been knocked back at each turn because some with actual morals that go into that place of corruption has said, no, we can't do this, and have voted it down. That's why it's not happened beforehand. That's why they took the desperate measure of poisoning the Skripals with whatever they poisoned it with, because I certainly don't believe it was Novichok, because they'd be dead. And when that didn't work, they had the fake attack, chlorine attack in Syria, staged by the White Helmets. But, you know, we all know that they're part and parcel of the terrorists controlled by the US, UK and European governments, but we're letting them get away with this. The people. US and allies ready for second blitz on Syria. Will strike again. Exclusive Russia link to spy in bag murder. Oh, piss off. They're pulling out all the stocks to try and get the for the want of a better word, the people behind May, but the people are behind her. They've all got knives and they want to plunge them deep into her back. And understandably so, because she's the most treasonous, treacherous, hated Prime Minister of the 21st century. And let's not forget, she's unelected, just like the rest of the treasonous gits in Europe. And wouldn't you know it, it's let's have a look in the mirror. And even when they're pushing World War III, they can't help but push the parasites as well. Meghan exclusive. Family still clueless on whether Dad will walk her down the aisle. She's been taken up the aisle, all right. May's Russian roulette. Brit forces join US and France to destroy chemical weapons. No evidence these were chemical weapons plants, by the way. We're just expected to believe them because they say they were. UK brace for Putin revenge after he warns about consequences. So now we've all got to apparently be worried. Well, don't worry about it. If it comes, it comes, and worrying doesn't do anything but make you worried. So avoid the worry. Just live a nice, happy life, knowing that this treasonous cow is going to be hung, along with a lot of other scumbags from Parliament and the Royals. Corbyn fury as number 10 fears backlash over PM support for Trump. Have we had enough yet? because they're going to keep going till we prove that we're capable of running our own country without this dictator. The Observer. Rivers of Blood, the school that fought back against the rhetoric of Enoch Powell, who was spot on with that particular observation. May faces anger over Syria raids. PM reveals legal advice on Allied attack. Trump hails his mission accomplished. Now, there was international lawyers but quite clearly stated that this attack was illegal under international law, yet it went ahead anyway. And of course the UN, Rothschilds, Rockefeller controlled UN, does nothing because it's not meant to do anything. It's all the UN is there for is to bring in a one world dictatorship, which is what it's fighting very hard to do. The only ones that can stop it is me and you. We need to be talking louder to everyone. Everyone needs to know what's going on, because if they did, I'm sure even those that are shitting themselves at the moment through the fear that they've got everyone in will go, well, we can't have this. Rather than sit here, let's walk into a nightmare dictatorship. Let's stand up, lock these treasonous traitors up in the asylums they need to be locked up in, with no possibility of parole or ever leaving. The only time that they can leave would be when they've gained enough sanity to be classed as almost normal, and then they can move from the sanitarium into a prison for the rest of their lives. Solitary confinement, of course. Syria attack. May should be criticised for her willingness to sanction action without Parliament. Never mind Parliament, without the people. The men, women don't want it, but she's going to ignore that, as she just showed in evidence there. So now it's our turn to get her out and locked up. Not just sacked as the Prime Minister, but put into an asylum where she belongs. She's doing her damnedest to cause this war. Started off a long time ago, but then the stuff's got worse recently with the Salisbury false flag, this Syria false flag, and they're no doubt working on another false flag to get more action. You've got to start seeing through this false flag right from the beginning, and then we can start locking up these criminals, absolute criminals.